Hello, I'm Commander Oliver Morris with the Los Alamos Police Department. It's an exciting time to live in Los Alamos. With the increase in hiring at the lab, we've seen more motorists and visitors come to Los Alamos. But with that, we've also seen an increase in traffic. And with traffic, we also get calls of distracted driving, speeding, and sometimes aggressive driving. Please join me in reducing these calls. Our officers are going to be out in force looking for these types of driving behavior. If you see something, please call us at our non-emergency line or our emergency line. We appreciate your partnership in helping keep our community safe, and thank you.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to Los Alamos High School Homecoming 2021. This is Gene Mortensen, and here with the head coach of the Hilltoppers, Garrett Williams. And Garrett, we didn't get a chance to talk last week, but anyway, it's been a strange couple of weeks anyway, and I know it's been frustrating for you. You came into the Well, I thought it was kind of interesting when we talked before the Bernalillo game. You mentioned that when two teams match up very well, which we did, and two teams match up very well, it's the team with the explosive plays that's usually going to come away with the victory. And boy, that prediction hit the nail right on the head.
Well, and the other half of that is, the two things that we always look at is, explosive plays, win the explosive play battle, win the turnover battle. And like I said, that was straight up the whole Bernalillo game. 6 turnovers, you're not going to win. And, we had a lot of pressure during that game. They did a great job playing defense. I thought our kids did a great job playing defense, but we just kept giving them opportunities to get the ball back in their hands. And, it cost us, just with turnovers. But we spent, a lot of time last week, kind of focusing on that. Did much better this last week, not giving up turnovers. But then we just had, last week we just had a hard time finishing in the red zone.
Yes.
Our kid, last week our kids played great. Good gosh, they played great on defense. We did a great job of moving the ball. Played on their half of the field most of the night, and it just kind of came down. We had a couple miscues, and most of the time it was down in the red zone, which is what where you kind of gotta buckle down and get things done. And that kind of hurt us, man. It was a close game. It was a great game. We knew, St. Mike's always tough coming in, and our kids, they played hard, played good for the most part. Just had a few miscues, but it was always, right down on the goal line where you don't want those kind.
Well, they kept giving us one great field position after another, and we just couldn't seem to take advantage. And then, of course, we got snake bit again. We run that beautiful play, that little shovel pass to Jeremiah, and he was about 30 yards out, made a fantastic run into the end zone, touchdown, and and that put us right back in the game. And here comes the flag.
Yep.
And well, it's been 4 games now, and the flags are still flying like crazy.
I don't know. That second half, man, I think we was about 10-2 penalty wise. But on our half, we did a lot of those things. We, especially like I said, in those big situations. I think Jeremiah's about ready to shoot somebody, because every time he touches the ball on that play, we run that jet sweep. Every time he touches it, the sucker ends up in the end zone. And 2 weeks in a row, we've had it called back on the same play. He was a little frustrated.
They called back, had that one called back against Bernalillo.
Yep, same play.
Then called back the other night, and that one that was called back the other night was pretty crucial. Plus, the one at Bernalillo was very crucial because, it was still, I think, a 13-0 game at the time.
No, absolutely.
They were back in the ball game.
I think that would have really swung, the game, especially last week. It's a 6-12 ball game. And we missed 2 field goals, missed two passes into the end zone. So had we converted on any of those, we'd have been up, and that would have put us, even in the game. I mean, it's 6-12 all the way until the last minute of the ball game. Yeah, so you're right. It was a hard fought game, the whole time. Our defense did a phenomenal job of stopping the run, stopping their pass. Their big quarterback was out, but they had some kids that, they still got some great athletes. But, we came into the second half and it's 6-12, 6-14, and the second half, we held them to 3 and out on defense every single drive except the last drive when they scored with about a minute left to go. So, man, we got, like I said, we got the ball back a lot of times. They had problems with their punts, gave us the ball on our end of the field, and, just had some crucial mistakes. Had an offside penalty, had an alignment penalty down on the goal line, had a block in the back on that touchdown, or that game's a different game. And and I know that's hard, and I know those kids, you don't want to do that. But man, those suckers played hard, and it was a fun game. They were having fun. They were fighting like crazy. But those are concentration type penalties, that you got to take care of when it matters.
Well, a lot went on in that game. It was a very interesting game, even though, it ended up they had 21 points, but they scored that last touchdown in the last minute. But other than that, it was a one touchdown game.
Yeah.
For the whole time, and we just couldn't seem to get things going. And but we did a good job. We matched up well with them, and just like we matched up with Bernalillo, of course with Bernalillo, we just completely took them out of their run game, 100%. They couldn't do anything with the run, and it was just as crazy as long passes and that crazy receiver they had down there.
Yeah, and I don't think, going back to that Bernalillo game, I don't think those big passes would have been an issue, but we just kept giving them the ball back. We had 5 interceptions and a fumble. When you keep giving guys those opportunities to put up those kind of passes, had we just driven the ball a couple times, not giving up those turnovers, I don't think they have those opportunities to put up, big plays. Our defense was on the field the whole second half because we just kept turning the ball over. So you keep giving them those opportunities. They're going to take advantage of one here and there. But, you're right. I thought that could have been, a different situation too, because our defense, both games, gosh, our defense just did a great job. As we just got to find a way as an offense, I think we did a better job this week not turning the ball over, but there were those little penalties down on the red zone when we had those opportunities that just cost us.
Yes. And we got down the ball. We brought the ball down. We got it down to. We had first and goal from the 2, and couldn't punch it in. And I can't remember whether they had a penalty on that series or not, but we ended up with 4th and goal from the 4, and weren't able to get it in the very, very first drive. We got the ball. We just marched down the field, and Tiki Nieto, he just had a couple of big explosive runs, and we got down right inside this red zone again, and Jacob, that's the irony of the whole thing. Jeremiah Herzl has a couple of touchdowns called back because of penalties, and then finally he was wide open in the end zone, and Jacob hit him right in the gut.
Hit him right in the chest, So, now it's on third down. We were backed up. We had taken a penalty and got backed up. Hit him in the chest on third down on that first drive. Went for a field goal because we were kind of backed up a little bit, which we don't do a lot. Didn't block very well. Got a little bit of pressure and missed that. Second series, kind of the same thing. Broke a big run, got down to the end zone. Had a blocking miscue, didn't block down on our power run, so got some pressure up the middle and got tackled for a loss. Same thing, went for the, I think ran speed option, didn't block it real well, got tackled in the backfield. I think we could have pitched it and maybe a walked in, but went for another field goal because we got backed up, missed it, came down the third time, put it right in the end zones. So start off, going pretty well. But the second half, we get down 4 times into the red zone. Twice, once gets stuffed on a fourth and 3, and one of them, a fourth down, I had hit, have another pass into the end zone. I thought it should have been a pretty clear pass interference called, but didn't get it on fourth down. So just some things like that. But those things don't matter. You just gotta execute when you're down that close. But man, it was a fun game. The guys played good. They played hard. You just can't have those miscues when you're down that close.
No, you can't, and and they really did. It was really, really interesting, a real fun game actually to watch and broadcast and everything. But it's just one of those things, They give us a good field position, and then we turn the ball back over to them. Well, say on downs, for instance, and then they go 3 and out. And the first punt the kid kicked, he booted it. He really booted it. And then the next 2 went off the side of his foot. Ball went straight up in the air, and it only went about 10, 15 yards down the field. And then we weren't able to, take advantage of that, which is, it's a bummer because they just keep giving it to you and giving it to you.
I know. We had several, every kickoff they kicked off to us. We had Jerry Hartzell and Malachi Gutierrez had great returns on kickoffs to put us on our side of the field. So man, there was a lot of great things happening in that game, and it was fun. It's a fun game. Wish it had come out the other way, because those are hard. Those are hard ones to deal with when you should have had it.
Yeah.
Those are ones you don't like losing.
Well, you had some nice plays. Caden Thornton had that really nice run back, and then that one, the one that cracked me up was when Caden rolled out, and not Caden, Jacob Green rolled out, and he was just running for his life, boy. They chased him all the way back to the 5-yard line, I think, and he finally came around to his right, and then Caden Thornton got open down about midfield, and boy, he hit him perfectly. Yeah. So
well, they did a good job of just creating opportunities most of the night. On specials, on defense, on offense, and it's fun to watch. So when those little things come together, man, those guys are dangerous when those little things get done and they execute those little things. So
what was interesting too was that their starting quarterback Jacob Katko, that's Mike Katko, my son-in-law, and also who broadcasts with us. That's his grandnephew. So when I saw Jacob Katko was going to be starting, I asked Mike, I said, do you have a relative named Jacob Katko? And yeah, it was his brother's grandson. So, but So you guys are kind of in a double whammy situation this week. It's interesting because you lost 2 games. They never should have lost the one last week, and like you say, down at Bernalillo, we just turned the ball over too many times to them. But this is homecoming, so on the one side, the kids got to be chomping at the bit to get back on the field and get back on the winning side again, and they're, of course, they're favored in this ball game, and but against Gallup tonight. But I guess it's there's a lot of distractions at homecoming. So on the one side, you got the kids pretty much pumped up to get out there and play some good football, win the game, and on the other side, all the distractions and the fun stuff. And
well, but there's a lot of things going on this week. But these guys have had a great week of practice. And like I said, they know what happened the last 2 weeks. And they've worked, they're working hard to kind of take care of some of those things and fix those things. We focused on that this week. And, there's a lot of stuff going on. But, man, this is what all that stuff's about. That game, that Friday night football game where all the alumni come back and, everybody's out at the parade and then coming to the game. They're coming back to watch that.
Yes.
And those guys know that. So, even with all the stuff and the games and the powder puff and the volleyball and the bonfire and the parade, like that all comes back and focuses on, Friday night. So, man, it's, they're excited. They're excited at that atmosphere that's fixing to go at, after all this stuff we've been through this week, that atmosphere that's fixing to hit, man, that's what this is about. Everybody comes back, see each other and come to that football game, man. So, these guys are going to have a good one tonight.
Well, Gallup, you guys are going to go up against Gallup again, and Gallup's been struggling this year. They've had kind of a tough schedule, but they've been taking it on the chin. So I presume you've seen films of Gallup or scouted them.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to be spread offense, kind of like they usually are, and they've had success in the past. I think they've had just because of the number of kids they got, I think they have some, difficulty finishing. Don't have many kids to roll. But they got some good athletes. They're big up front, by far bigger than we are on the offensive and defensive line. So we're going to have to use our speed against those guys. I think if we get on offense, we get out, spread the field to really make those guys run sideline to sideline. I think we, tire them out pretty quick, and then can kind of do what we want to do, run game wise. Defense, they're a kind of a 4-3 cover 4 zone defense. So we're going to spend a lot of time, trying to get Jake back into that, reading his pass keys, really taking advantage of the pass game. Hopefully tonight, get them to loosen up so we can run Teak. So and then kind of defensively, they're a spread offense, and we've seen a lot of spread offenses this year. Our guys have done a great job. Number one, stopping the run. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to get those explosive plays because our guys, man, they will run to the ball if it's run. So we got some things set up, man. We've kind of pared down a little bit this week to just focus on fundamentals and alignment and our keys and all that stuff, just because we're going to have to going into next week, and then going into, we got one more week before district, so we gotta be ready to go for that district season. So I think this is gonna be a good one, man. These guys are pumped up. They've had a blast with all the stuff this week, but they've done a good job practicing. So we'll see how it turns out, but hopefully we're gonna put on a show for the community and all those alumni coming back, man. It's homecoming, so this is always a big one.
Yeah, it's nice now too, and then of course they have added the Los Alamos High School Athletic Hall of Fame, and and that's a nice little added something to the whole celebration. And,
Absolutely.
yeah,
We got
put the inductees in the parade and introduce them on the field.
we got a couple Hilltopper football players, Brian Cocking and Barry Keys, that are old Topper football players. Brian Cocking was actually one of my teammates at Eastern New Mexico too. So I've known Brian for a long time as well. Since college. So man, we're pumped up to see those guys as well. They're gonna drop by here in a little bit, talk to our our teams about what's it mean to be a Hilltopper, and that's a big thing. That's a special thing for people around here. So can't wait.
Yeah, Brian had a couple of Cocking kids play, of course, and then Steve Cocking, the father, was offensive coordinator for so many years, and then of course the kids, all my kids went to high school here, and all of them. I'm not sure if the younger ones did, but they sure thought a lot of Mrs. Cocking.
Oh, absolutely.
She was really their one of my favorite teacher. They just had so much respect for her. So anyway, it'll be an interesting ball game, and we'll see if the kids can get back on track tonight. Like you say, it's an interesting situation because you have Gallup tonight, and that's a non-district game, but it's homecoming. And then the last non-district game is you're going to head out to Las Vegas and to take on West. Do you play that at Highlands?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the
last time,
I think they have their.
The last time we went and played West, we played them at Highlands, and they missed a field goal that could have won the game by just the width of the pole and of the goalpost. And it turns out that the college goalposts are closer.
Yep. Well, that's going to be a good one. We're hoping to get back on the roll tonight. Those guys they're off tonight, but they're 4-0. They're doing a great job. So that's going to be a good game. And that's one, hopefully we can, kind of swing in, get a couple wins and get into district with these guys healthy and feeling good and kind of back on the winning track. So these next 2 weeks are going to be big for that.
So. Well, very good, Garrett. And so good luck tonight and happy homecoming and all that kind of stuff. And the kids get out there and let's have some fun and let's win the ball game.
We can't wait. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So this is Gene Martinson, been talking with head coach Garrett Williams. It's happy homecoming here at Los Alamos. And so when we come back, we're going to take on that homecoming contest and be up against the Gallup High School Bengals. Bye-bye, everybody. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sullivan Field, and welcome to Los Alamos High School Homecoming 2021. This is Gene Mortensen, along with my good buddy Mike Mays, and we are here at Sullivan Field to bring you this homecoming contest between the Los Alamos High School Hilltoppers and the Gallup High School Bengals. Hilltoppers coming into the ball game with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses. They won their first 2 games, and then they unfortunately lost their last 2. They lost a game down in to Bernalillo a couple of weeks ago. Last week, a game they never should have lost to St. Michael's. And tonight they're going to go up against the Bengals, who have been struggling all season long. They are 0-4, and they've been having a rough time. So, Mike, we should be pretty heavily favored in this ball game, but who knows?
Yeah, absolutely, Gene. Toppers started off the year with 2 straight victories. Looked very, very good in those 2 games, Gene. But ran up against a very tough Bernalillo squad a couple of weeks ago. That was easily the most impressive set of defensive backs I have seen at this level ever. And the Toppers, who'd been throwing the ball very, very well up to that point, just could not do anything against those defensive backs. Jacob Green, the quarterback, ended up with 6 interceptions in that ball game. But that's how Bernalillo rolls. So that wasn't alarming. Unfortunately, last week, Gene, I think what we saw against St. Michael's, the Topper got away from their passing game. I don't know if they got a little gun shy or what happened, given the tough performance against Bernalillo. But the Toppers kind of went back to their old tricks a little bit. They did throw the ball a little bit more than we've seen them do in the past, but nothing like we saw out of the first 2 ball games. So St. Mike's didn't put a whole lot together in that ball game, particularly in the second half. Toppers had several chances. They had several short fields in that ball game. Jamin just could not take advantage.
Yeah, it was just a constant. And we were down at the half at 12-7, or 12-6 actually, 14-6. I can do this, but and in the second half, I mean, they just kept giving us one good field position after another. We got the ball. We had a beautiful run back, got the ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. We had first and goal from the 2. We couldn't put it in. We held them, and then they punted. It went off the side of his foot, and we went straight up in the air, went about 25 yards. And then we had great field position again, couldn't convert that. Happened that same thing happened in a couple of series later. I mean, they were giving us every opportunity to score. And right now we're having a coin toss down on the field. And I'll let Mike pick that up. But anyway, this is homecoming. And of course, I've got the there.
All right, and so the toss has been made. Toppers have won the toss. They will receive the kickoff here to start this ball game, and they will head west. The Bengals will defend the west goal and head east. So the Toppers coming into this ball game, record of 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 straight losses for the Toppers, and Gallup 0-4. Gene. And they have really struggled. Only 2 touchdowns the entire season. So we'll see. The Bengals really starting about really about 15, 20 years ago. They really had a couple of down seasons. They used to be a fairly solid football program. Had a couple of down years, and then just everything snowballed on them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how much my America it is. That's the same thing that happened up at Farmington. And this for a while, Farmington Sports had, but get a new school like that, and then you're distributing your talent. And so I'm not sure if that's what's happened here in Gallup, but they very, very short roster. They came out this you said they had 30 players on the roster. They only had 21 with numbers. So we may be a little short, but it looks like. But anyway, Gallup will kick off. And getting
one of
ready.
the gentlemen that we don't have a number 4.
It's going to be a very short quick takedown on the 15-yard line coming over to the right sideline. And he's going to go down the right sideline. He may go all the way. That's Malachi Gutierrez. He's at the 10-yard line. He's at the 5. He's in the end zone. Malachi Gutierrez took it on the 15-yard line, an 85-yard touchdown return to start this homecoming ball game. And he just took it over on the left side of the field, over on that left hash mark. And the next thing you know, he just headed to the right sideline. He had one blocker in front of him. Then he went around that blocker and just headed right down the right sideline. They sent him down around the 15-yard line. He just made a cut toward the end zone, and that was that.
Yeah, absolutely. As Sally Hopkins comes on to a take point here, Gene. But get back to that run in just a second. And nice kick there by Sally. That is plenty good.
Jeremiah Hertzall holding for Sally. She puts it through, and all of a sudden, Mike, it's 7-0.
Yeah, and so the opening kickoff, actually not a bad kick. Picked up, like Gene said, right around the 15-yard line. And Malachi just cut to his right, and there was just absolutely nobody there. Only one Bengal even had a shot at him. Went for his heel. I thought he might just maybe get a trip his feet, but other than that, Malachi had absolutely no problem going all the way to the house. So big start to this game for the Toppers, and just a great run back there by Malachi.
And that's been one of the characteristics for the Hilltoppers. Even in 2 games they lost, they had great run backs on kickoffs. And they did the same thing against Pius. They did the same thing against Bernalillo. And so they, once again, this time Malachi, it's either Jeremiah Hartzell back there or Malachi. And boy, Malachi, an 85-yard return. This kick's going to go way into the end zone. What a boot. So that in the end zone for the touchback. So that will make it now. They'll bring the ball out to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for Gallup, and hopefully some of the players on field. What's that? I don't know what he's yelling at us. Somebody yelling at us. So here we go.
He probably wants to hear AC/DC, James. So.
Well, we've got 18 to be the quarterback, of course.
And we don't know who that is.
We have no idea who number 18 is. He hands the ball off, and the ball is handed off to this is Mike. So anyway, the handoff goes over to the right side. They're going to be throwing for a 2-yard loss. And the ball back now to the 18 mil. They're going to spot it on the 19. That's going to make it second down and about 11 for the Bengals. We just thought we could do it, but we couldn't get a roster. The pitch out's going to go around to the right side. Boy, penetrating that time. Jeremiah Hartzall, he just came through from the left side. And he just, absolutely no chance whatsoever. He's going to be throwing for a huge loss.
Yeah, he's down about 5 and pitch way out to the right. That is about the deepest pitch I think I've seen all season. And Hartzell is crashing in from his defensive back and drops the runner for a big loss.
So they're going to run out of the pistol this time. They're going to air it out. They're going to mount open downfield. Wow. almost got it to him, and that was intended for Joaquin Ortega.
All right, we know the guy.
All
Excellent.
right.
So
So
we
hopefully,
will not be shut out in this ball game,
no,
Jane.
hopefully they'll have a lot of plays to Joaquin. And so anyway, that's going to bring a fourth down. Incomplete pass. And now dropping back on it. It's going to Joaquin Ortega.
All right.
Standing on the line. So Joaquin will kick it away. 6 foot, 212-pound senior.
That's partially blocked.
Yes. And the Hilltoppers are going to take it in for the score. Tiki Nieto.
Wow.
Partially blocked. Just Tiki Nieto out about, the 15, 20-yard line. And just into the end zone for the score. Whoa. This game may get over.
Yeah, well, the Toppers. There's a lot going on for halftime, Gene. So they may have to start taking a knee when they get to 49.
Yeah, we've had that before. On the other side.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's been we've been together messed around it.
Well, let's see. I think we're going to have motion here. We're going to have a encroachment by Gallup. That's going to move it up 5 yards. So that'll move Sally up 5 yards closer. I mean, a yard closer. Yard and a half closer, actually. Ball at the 3, half the distance to the goal. So let's just make Sally's job a little easier. He's ready. 5'6", 120-pound senior. And
game last week, Jane, watching her place kick, she was just or something, but no problem with those two. Those were nice.
yeah, they had we had a couple chances for field. She was well within her range of the field, but 0, and the hill is not on a stretch yet. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Full anyway, half moon out there, but here we go again with a nice kickoff. This is going to go into the end zone again.
Actually, I think we had a stoppage of play before the kick was actually official.
And that's number 84. We don't have a number 84. We don't. Good gravy.
Flag on the play pre-kick. I think one of the Toppers might have been offside. So yeah, so illegal procedure by the Toppers. Maybe they weren't lined up correctly either. We'll see what the. Well, it is of no consequence, really. The Toppers move back 5 yards. They'll kick this one off from the 35-yard line. 10:16 remaining here in this opening quarter. So in under 2 minutes, Toppers have scored twice already, both on runbacks. And here's the kick. Nice kick. And that is going to be fielded right around the 5-yard line. And returning that out back to about the 25. We'll see where they spot that. Is Isaiah Reese for Gallup. So Reese with the return. They're going to set it down right around the 24-yard line. So a 19-yard return there for Isaiah Reese, as the Bengals will start their second possession of this opening quarter. And already in a hole are the Bengals.
Our kicker is Charles Stein. So, and boy, has he been booting him. So the Bengals are going to run it right over the left side, the left tackle. And this is going to go pretty much nowhere, as the And at least leading the charge out there that time was, and as the handoff went to Byron Yaza, a 5'7" junior. So we have heights on some of them and weights on some of them, and only the grades on others. Not the most complete roster I've seen.
No, there's a couple of holes in there.
It's going to be second down and long
Oh
yardage.
my goodness!
Trying to come around the left side, and going to be throwing, and that's going to be, is that Sally Hopkins? No, Jehoran Quintana.
No, not Sally. No,
I didn't think they had run Sally out there.
no, Sally doesn't play a whole lot, except for special teams. So
it's going to be 3rd and 10. And the ball, well, let's see.
now that
Not 3rd and 10. Let's see. But they need to get to the 35-yard line. The ball right now is at about the 24.
I don't think that's right. I don't think it's. So they got it. Well, they have it, and even that. Actually, I thought he lost a couple more yards than that on that.
Yeah, so did I.
That was another deep pitch from the quarterback and the running back. Unfortunately for Gallup was in no man's land.
Yes, and so we're going to have let's see.
I don't think the ball is spotted correctly. I think that's the problem.
I don't know the official right now. So it's the side, if anything. Well, they're moving the ball over now to the left hash mark. Okay, and now
that is correct. That's where it should be. That is correct.
It's just like soccer, rolling back, and it gets away from one man, and he's got a man open downfield, and this one he overthrows him, unfortunately. So
the quarterback, whoever he is, actually has a pretty good arm, Gene. That was a flat-footed 4-yard toss.
Yeah, and that was intended for Joaquin Ortega. So, Joaquin has been getting behind our defenders every time, and he still gets overthrown. So right now we have Malachi Gutierrez standing on his own 45-yard line. And the Bengals will try to punt it away once again. Joaquin Ortega, and this time he does get the kickoff. Picked up by Malachi right at midfield. Malachi is going to come to his right. Still going. He's across the 20, cuts back to the 15, and he finally dropped down about the 10-yard line.
And we are going to have a penalty behind.
Yes.
Here at the 35-yard line. And I saw exactly what the official was looking at, and that is a weak call, Gene.
Oh, is that right?
That is we don't want you running up the score call is what that was.
Yeah.
that was they're going to call like a block in the back or something. It was a weak call.
Yeah, so the official now is going to give us a signal. It's going to be blocking the back, just like Mike says. And they're going to say that block occurred at the 35-yard line. It's the 35.
That's where the flag was. I thought.
Well, he's still going.
Yeah, I thought it was closer to midfield. So that's
45-yard line. So 15-yard penalty. So the flag was well, anyway, the block in the back occurred at the 45-yard line of the Hilltoppers. So they are now marched back to their own 40.
And they're gonna have to run an offensive play now, Gene.
Uh-oh. They're gonna run out of the shotgun. They're gonna go to Jacob Green. He's gonna roll to his left, option play. He's gonna keep it himself. He rolls around to the left side. He's gonna pick up a yard, maybe, well, about 6 or 7 yards actually. So that was just a simple option. And Tiki Nieto was the option back. And Jacob Green decided I don't need an option back. I can do this myself.
Yep, he was fine. They're gonna give him about 7.
So let's see if they.
Now we have a dead ball foul, personal
yep.
foul on the Bengals.
Oh my golly!
Wow, I did not see that. But
15 yards. Should take it back to the 45. That's where the Los Alamos flag occurred.
so no, they are now at about the 38-yard
even
line.
further than that. Wow. So that's personal foul occurring on the play, and it really moves the Hilltoppers way up. So Jacob Green, he's going to keep it himself again, and boy, they've run that play before, and I don't understand it. Jacob Green just gets the handoff, gets the snap, and they line up in the shotgun, and Tiki Nieto is off about a half of him, and he just runs to the side of him, kind of sticks the ball in his gut. And I guess the idea is that at some point Jacob has to decide, do I leave it in his gut or do I pull it out? We've seen him run that play twice and with no success. There's a bad snap, and picking it up for the Hilltoppers is Jacob Green coming around to his right, and I think we're going to have a flag, and
almost back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like pending the flag back. He was right around. And he's going to get it back close to about the 34-yard line. We'll see where pending the flag. And
flag around the 40.
2 flags on the field. There's one near the 40 and there's one near the 30 on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. I think we're trying to control the score here.
I didn't see a whole lot there.
14-0 ball game right now, and we've got 5:58 remaining here, 6:58 remaining in the first quarter. Hilltoppers up 14-0, and the official long conference. Well, they're really, they're every time the referee backs away, then he has to come back and talk about some more. Now he's backing away again. Okay.
All
right. Now he's telling everybody to get out of the way. Okay.
Say, I wear the white hat around here, buddy.
Yeah, really. All right.
And then a tripping call by Los Alamos, and that will be accepted. The officiating crew is from San Gene. Referee is Greg Sandoval. Umpire Kurt Temple. The line judge is Bobby Benavides. The back judge, Ronnie Milyorn. And the head linesman is Oliver Torres. So that crew from the city of Santa Fe calling tonight's game. And
going. I think they called the tripping call right around the right around midfield.
At about the point where Green actually picked up the ball, the snap was.
Yeah.
No, the snap was fine. I don't know what happened.
Well, they walked up to about the 49-yard line, and then he started his march from there. So anyway, they're going to give it to Tiki Nieto up the middle, and he's going to be racked up. Doing a good job by our buddy, Joaquin Ortega, coming in and making the stop.
I like him. We should just focus on him tonight.
He's our go-to guy, that's for sure.
He absolutely is. I mean, he's an excellent athlete, and he's about the only guy we actually know what his number is. So,
Stephon Smith was also in on a tackle. Let's see, what does it say? It says it's 3rd and 41.
Screen pass. Whoa.
Screen pass to Tiki Nieto.
Goodness.
He had all kinds of running room.
Screen pass to Nieto. He had a convoy right in front of him. Only one Bengal even within 20 yards of him, and he's able to get him by the ankle.
Yeah. So the ball right now is at the 45. And the scoreboard is saying it's 4th down and 26 because I don't see Rivaldo back and forth. Crazy. So I guess the Hilltoppers are going to punt it away with 5:20 to go. And so dropping back, Steinkamp will kick it upfield. And the Bengals are just going to get away from it. It's going to roll dead to 20-yard line of the Bengals. 10 remaining first quarter, leading 14-0 over the Gallup Bengals. So we have a lot of stuff going on here tonight, Mike. Let's see. Of course, this is homecoming, and then they'll have the King and Queen stuff at halftime. We also have in the Los Alamos High School, Los Alamos High School Hall of Fame Committee has elected 6 inductees to go into the Hall of Fame. For those who are able to make it here tonight, we'll give you their bios when we get a chance. Anyway, so the Bengals, they're just no blocking whatsoever, and boy, big hit that time for the Hilltoppers, and that was Jackson Blair. Blair's made some pretty nice hits already this season.
Yeah, he really has, and hey, that's your favorite time to go after the runner when there's nobody in front of you. And yeah, Blair kind of lit him up a little bit there. But the Bengals are doing these super deep pitches, and not only is their blocking not set up very well, these are taking hours to actually come together, these plays.
He's going to throw it again. And they send Joaquin way down the right sideline, and then they try to pass underneath him. So that time, instead of going long, they tried to pass over on the right sideline about 10 yards up the field. That was going to go incomplete, and it's going to bring it back. That'll make it 3rd down and 15. The ball at the, spotted right now, should be at the 20-yard line. And
I think it's the 15 right now. I think
you are correct. So 3rd down, little swing pass over on the left sideline. They're going to pick up some pretty good yardage on this one. And I think that might be the first positive yardage of this ball game.
I believe
you're
correct.
Bengals.
Yes. Actually, not a bad play there. That's going to pick up about 6 or 7. I'll call it 7. So it'll still be 4th down for the Bengals, but
yeah, it was 3rd and 15. Yeah. So Mike says they picked up about 7 yards. So it's going to make up 4th and 8. They'll punt it away once again, and they're going to send Joaquin back there. High snap. Joaquin gets it away, and this one's going to go out of bounds up about midfield or so. See where the official decides it went out of bounds. So around the 47 or so of Bengal territory. And it's right now, it's a.
So 14-0 game right now. The scoreboard is having issues tonight, Gene.
Driving me nuts.
So right now there's 324 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this first quarter. So this is going to be a long quarter, Gene.
Homecoming,
That's
going
right.
to go to Tiki Nieto up the middle. And Tiki is going to be tripped up. Coming over to trip him up with Stephon Smith. And number 14, who's been in quite a few tackles here tonight for the Bengals.
And we'd love to tell you who he is.
Score right now is 96-0.
No, they were going to have some sort of rule against that. You really shouldn't be able to score 96 points, and it doesn't seem right.
Well, we went through the same thing with the scoreboard over in Griffith Gymnasium. And so right now, the official talking now to Garrett Smith, and I think they are trying desperately to see if they can't fix the scoreboard. Man, then one thing, it's another. So.
Yeah, the scoreboard was an issue. We were doing boys soccer on Tuesday, and the scoreboard wasn't doing too hot in that particular game either. And I'm not quite sure why. It just seems to it's kind of doing whatever it wants right now. I know Jim Starrett's who runs the clock and the scoreboard over there. Veteran has been doing this for years and years and years. He knows everything there is to know about that scoreboard, but that's just not happening tonight.
Well, we had a lot of problems with it last Friday too, the football game. Here we go. Hilltop's now getting out an 8, and 45-yard line, dropping back. Jacob Green, and his pass is going to be complete up to Jeremiah Hertzall, and Hertzall into the end zone for the score. So Jacob Green dropping back, and he sees Hertzall over on the right flat, and just kind of hits him just past the line of scrimmage, and boy, then off Jeremiah goes. And Jeremiah is so fast, 5'9", 150-pound senior. Or let me correct that. He's 5'8", 145-pound senior. And so Sally Hopkins now for the Hilltops. 20-0 is the lead, and Sally Hopkins will boot it away. And this one is good. So Hilltoppers go up 21-0. We have no idea what the time is.
So I think I think it's 3:03. I think the first three numbers are the correct time. The first three of the 14 numbers we have out there are the correct time. We're hoping. But I believe that's about right. So that's what I'm saying. So 21-0 lead for Los Alamos, and like we were saying coming into this ball game, Gallup has just really struggled, and they really struggled for a while. So.
It's been they've just a few times. The program obviously is struggling. You can see that here. Just everything's pretty discombobulated. The roster, everything. They have no blocking whatsoever.
No.
Unfortunately.
No, they've. I don't think they've had one good shoulder pad block this entire game by anybody.
Steinkamp got it booted away. And this one's going to sail into the end zone once again. Charles has got quite a foot on him. So that'll bring it out to the 20-yard line once again. We've had the situation. We've been to homecomings, a number of them, by the way. And we went to Aztec. It was the first game of the season for Aztec. They were ranked like 1 or 2 in the state. I think 2 in the state behind Artesia. They decided that was going to be their homecoming, first game of the season. And the score was 15-0 at the half. And that was the first rule that the first year that the Bob Scott rule went into effect. Oh, a nice pass complete for about 10 yards down the right sideline. And so that was complete to Kristen Ortega. They finally got one to Joaquin. Joaquin Ortega. So
8-yard pickup there. So nice throw. Nice, good route to the outside, and a very nice throw. That was right on the numbers.
Yeah, it certainly was. And so they line up now. They have 2nd and 2. They have the opportunity to pick up their first down of the night. And they're going to have motion. So we're either going to have a encroachment by the Hilltoppers or a false start. And let's hope it's not a false start on the Bengals.
Now they're looking in Los Alamos' direction. So
Yeah, and that's their first down of the ball game.
So move the chains for the Gallup Bengals. Now up around the 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and it's a 6-yard penalty to boot. So, so that helps Gallup. Anyway, second down. So now it's 1st and 10. Another flag. Let's see if they're going to sort this thing out.
So nothing there. They pick it up. They didn't even make a motion.
They didn't do anything. Rolling back. Air it out.
Oh, my goodness.
And he had Ortega open at the wide open up at the 45-yard line, and he would have picked up the first down.
Right in the chest, too.
Worst possible place.
You cannot throw it to a receiver right where he can catch it, Gene.
No.
Everybody knows that.
No, it's got to be a one-handed catcher, behind the back, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's how you have to do that. Boy, that was a laser beam too.
Yeah,
that was a throw.
So that's going to make it now 2nd down and 2nd and 10. And they're going to run an option, but he's going to keep it himself. And he's going to get it back up to about the 35-yard line. So make it the 36-yard line. So 2-yard gain. That's going to make it now 3rd and 8 for the Bengals. And we have, looks like it's about 2:15 remaining here in the first quarter. And 21-0 ball game. But we went to Aztec and it was 50-0 at the end of the first half. That was the first year that they kicked in the 50-point rule. So what they did was they just had the teams go to the locker room, and then they came out and did the halftime activities. And then they told everybody to go home. Nice catch!
Wow!
Out at the 45-yard line of the Bengals, but that should be enough for a first down. Boy, pretty catch that time by Andrew Wilson. So Andrew Wilson, a nice pass into traffic. He's went high up in the air and grabbed that with both hands, and he picks up the first down. They're going to spot it at the 44. I thought he at the 45.
Yeah, I don't think he got that great of a spot.
No, he did not.
But he does pick up the first down. So, Jane, are you Bengals showing a little bit of life, throwing the football here? 3 completions and a 4th.
There's a pitch out around the right side, and this one's not going to go anywhere as usual. Every time they run that pitch out, like Mike said, it's a long pitch out. And so the Hilltoppers coming in to make the stop that time for the Hilltoppers. And penetrating was Zach Schwarzkopf. Schwarzkopf brings him down for a loss. And that's going to make it now second and kind of a short 13. And the clock moving down to 40 seconds to go here in this first quarter. So the Bengals come out. They line up in that pistol. And they're going to run out of the pistol. They're going to get it back to the tailback. And so they get it back to the tailback. He tries to come around the right side. So it just went straight back to the quarterback. He turned around, flipped it to the tailback coming around the right side. He picks up the 2 yards they lost. And that's going to bring it now, make it 3rd down. And this will end the first quarter of play here at Sullivan Field. The Hilltoppers leading 21-0 over the Gallup Bengals. So let me see, Mike, give me a chance to start on this Hall of Fame. 6 inductees into the Hall of Fame this year. The Los Alamos High School Sports Hall of Fame. Started in 2014, and every year for homecoming, the committee brings in 5 or 6 or 7, depending, new inductees and inducts them into the Hall of Fame. Tomorrow there'll be a little banquet. Normally they have the banquet somewhere in the high school. Tomorrow it's going to be outside the concession stand here at the football field because the weather's expected to be fantastic. Anyway, they get started on some of the Diane Wood Gordon, who was not able to make it tonight. She was a 1996 graduate in volleyball. She was a state tennis team champion, all-state volleyball first team selectee, all-district volleyball first team, and the Mexico North-South All-Star team 1997. She was volleyball starter in college for 4 years at St. Mary's College in Minnesota. Diane Wood, and who now is Diane Wood Gordon, 1996 graduate. So we are about ready to go here for quarter number 2.
And we have a dark scoreboard.
Okay, get out that stopwatch. So,
yeah, it is. We have nothing on the scoreboard, so I will make a probably very lame attempt to keep the time over here on my phone. That doesn't
rolling back, downfield. Whoa. Boy, nice throw. Boy, another zinger. And he had the receiver out there, but trying to go up and grab it, he could not get to it. A little overthrown, about 10, 15 yards down the field. So it looks like they're going to drop Joaquin Ortega back into punt formation. Once again, he'll back up to his own 30-yard line. And deep for Los Alamos will be Malachi Gutierrez and Jeremy Hartzall. 21-0 right now is the ball game. Homecoming 2021. High snap. Boy, he just barely got that one off and went off the side of his foot, and he was just kicking for his life back there.
Yeah, Roland Ash right in his face, and just got that over him, but like I said, right off the side of his foot. So that's going to go about. Let's see where they actually end up marking this. Right around the 35-yard line of the Toppers. So about a 20-yard punt, give or take.
Yes. So anyway, now we're sitting at the 35-yard line. Hilltopper territory, 1st and 10, first down for the Hilltoppers, and just underway here in quarter number 2. Jacob Green trying to keep it himself around the right side. He's got some running room and some blockers in front of him, and he's still he's still going. I can't believe they didn't get him. I thought they got him 2 or 3 times. And he broke tackle down across midfield, broke a tackle at the 40, and then cut toward the middle of the field. They had him wrapped up around the 30, broke that tackle, headed right toward the middle of the field, and they finally do bring him down around the 22-yard line.
43-yard pickup there for Green, and Green showing some good patience over there, way out on the right side. Gene actually directing traffic, letting his blocking set up for him near the line of scrimmage. And they got that. They got the Bengals moving toward the sideline. Green able to cut in and broke a couple of tackles until he's finally brought down. But huge pickup. So nice run there by Green. But particularly, I like the patience. I like the running patience that Green's showing there. That is a very mature way to handle that, especially in the open field.
Yes, he did, because he was under. I mean, the pursuit by Gallup was there the entire time, and he just did a good job of reading that blocked the tackling downfield, the defenders. So the Hilltoppers now going to go for first and 10, the ball at the 22-yard line of the Bengals. First and 10, Los Alamos. Just a quick pass. Right to Jeremiah Hartzell. And can't hang on.
Nope, that was a nice pass. Quick slant route. And I think Jeremiah catches that. There wasn't a lot between him and the goal line. So that very well could have been another 6 points for Los Alamos.
That's the same thing that happened last week against St. Michael's.
Yeah, right at the goal line, too, unfortunately.
So they'll run out of the shotgun. Jacob's going to come pass over on the left side. That one's going to go to, and that one for the Hilltoppers is going to go up to Caden Thornton. And Thornton is going to be run out of bounds around inside the 5-yard line. They'll spot it at the 4, at the 3, at the 7. I can do this. At the 8. Okay. They finally decide where they want to put it. So it's going to be first and goal from the 8. The Hilltoppers will run out of the shotgun. So right now they've got the loaded shotgun. Everybody back, and they're going to give it to Hartzell. Hartzell up the middle, and he's going to slam into the end zone for the touchdown. So Jeremy Hartzell takes the handoff as they sat up in the loaded shotgun, and they just they just lined up with Jacob Green back at the quarterback in the spread. Next to him was Tiki Nieto, the fullback, and then lining up behind him, right behind him was Jeremiah Hartzell. It was nothing fancy. They just hiked it to Green, and he just turned around and just shoved it in the gut of Hartzell straight up the middle. So that's going to make it 27. Kick is good by Sally Hopkins. That makes it 28-0. Do I have the right score?
That is the correct score. Yes, Gene. Second touchdown of the ball game for Hartzell. And nothing super fancy about that play, but good hard running there and a good finish there by Hartzell to shove that into the end zone. So he scored in the first quarter on a 45-yard pass from Green to. So second touchdown of the game for him. That coming about 10 minutes. I've completely lost track of time. We have the scoreboard. Right, so the clock is not actually started here for the second quarter, Gene. So but 28-0. I hope somebody's keeping time on the field. And so
next touchdown wins.
That's right. They're playing street ball rules right now. So yeah, it's time for dinner. You got to wrap it up.
Yes. So. Steinkamp ready to go. He will kick it away. He's been booting them like crazy tonight, and this one he sails into the end zone again.
That one about 6 yards deep into the end zone. So
I thought he was going to put it through the goalpost there for a minute. So that's going to bring it out to the 20-yard line. 28-0 is the score. We have absolutely no idea what the time situation here. The only thing we know for sure is it's in the second quarter. And Gallup has the ball.
So as I said, I think there's roughly 10 minutes left in the second quarter, but that's more guess than knowing.
So once again, lined up in the pistol, rolling to his left, going to air it upfield.
Whoa!
Almost picked off for the Hilltoppers. Pass was overthrown, and Jeremiah Hartzell high in the air trying to pick that one off. And fortunately for Gallup, he doesn't. So they'll bring it back to the 20-yard line.
This quarterback has an arm on him, Gene. That was
Yeah.
that was a very nonchalant 35-yard pass that overshot everybody, including Hartzell, who was well behind the receiver.
Yeah, he's got quite an arm.
Maybe needs to rein it in a little bit, but no problem with the arm strength.
There's that pitch out around the left side. Whoa! And this time they're going to get a little running room here. So that's number 18, and but boy, I mean, he just, as soon as he caught that, he had some great blocking, Mike, that time. And he moves it up to about the 27, 28-yard line. See, he got spotted at the 27. So that's going to make it now 3rd down and a long 3.
But yeah, that's really the best.
Confidence. Well, under center he goes again. And time he's going to be up at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Kate leading the Los Alamos. And along for the Hill was John Delgado. And then coming to wrap it all up, Brown. And the bottom of that pile. It's going to bring it 4th down. See if Rodriguez is going to roll it here.
He's not up here.
Down in 5.
Oh,
See, does.
oh!
And he does get it. He off one of the Hilltoppers, came right back to him, and that was Joaquin Ortega.
Wearing the Gene, and he bounced straight up in the air that went right off one of the Hilltoppers and right back to Ortega, who caught it for the first.
Yeah, 4 and 5. On their own 25-yard line. To go for a pass, and then, like I said, Mike said, it just went off of his shoulder up in the air, off of a topper, and then right back to Joaquin. So they 25, 26-yard gain. As the ball is up to the Hilltopper 49-yard line.
There's that pitch out again, and that, oh man, swallowed up.
Yeah, that pitch out goes absolutely nowhere.
And Eliseo Valdez coming in to clean it up, but a bunch of toppers in on that. I think Nicholas Rev was also involved in that one, or Nicholas Ray, excuse me, not Rev. So toppers substituting liberally here in the second quarter. A couple of guys we don't get to see a whole lot, but it's just what was that you were saying? Maybe it's time to take that one out of the playbook.
Yeah, a little bit. 2nd down, they lose 3. 2nd down and 13, and the ball right now setting at the 48-yard line of the Bengals. They're working on the clock again.
Well, they have it at 8:17. So
they've stopped play while they work on it.
So that's what it's saying right now. It's 4-0, by the way. Not a score you see very often in football, but 4-0 the score. Actually, the score right now 28-0 in favor of Los Alamos. So maybe that's a touchdown count. I don't know.
So the pass down the left sideline. So they just went out of the shotgun. He just took a couple of steps back, and heading down the left sideline that time was Ronaldo Navajo. And 5'11", 233 pounds. They got some big kids out there. But that'll bring it back. That's going to make it second down. They lost a yard on the play, on the pass play. Third down, let me correct that. So whoa, ball on the ground. Ball on the ground and heading down to grab it up. Number 18. And so that's going to bring up fourth down, Mike. And so do we roll the dice again? Might as well.
You know, you're 0-4. You're down 28-0. It doesn't seem like you have a whole lot to lose at this point. So why not?
You know, they're gonna score. We're gonna score from our own 30 just as easily we can score from their 30. So that back in punt formation. Bad snap, boy, Christian.
Wow.
Ortega somehow gets it away. I don't know how. Hilltoppers are going to pick it up and run it. So they look like they're just going to let it run dead, roll dead. Now down the left sideline, Malachi Gutierrez. Wow, boy, I tell you, Joaquin Ortega, the punter. Boy, I mean, he laid one on Malachi that time. Whoa. So Malachi decided to scoop it up after everybody was just standing around letting it roll dead. Scooped it up, came down the left sideline.
All kinds of flags over here.
Oh, yeah.
Jane.
But boy, I'm telling you, Joaquin Ortega, boy, he got one heck of a hit on Malachi. But Mike says there's flags everywhere as usual.
And we have a player down too for Gallup. I think that's Darvell Skeet, I believe, is on the ground, and he's being tended to. He was trying to hop off the field, Gene, and did not make it. So they're taking a look at him, but they're going to try to sort out the penalty flags here. This officiating crew been very, very busy tonight.
Yes, they have. More discussions. Yeah, and that was, yeah, you're right. Darville Street. There's an illegal block in the back. And that looks like that's going to do it. So the 15-yard penalty will move it all the way back to looks like the 23-yard line. 23-yard line of Los Alamos. So that block must have occurred right after he picked it up. So he picks up the ball to take off, and then Hilltoppers help him on his run with a block in the back. And we're down to, looks like, 7:07.
We think. We really don't know. That's what the scoreboard says. That might be the time, and might just be what happens to be on the scoreboard at this moment.
Yes.
We really do not know.
So.
And it's a 1-0 ball game here, by the way. The pitcher's duel here tonight at Sullivan Field.
Here we go. So the Hilltoppers give it to Hartzell. Hartzell straight up the middle. And he gets it right up to midfield. And he's racked up right there by midfield coming over. Make the stop, Ronaldo Navajo. So Navajo makes the stop just short of midfield. So they, starting at their own 23-yard line, they move it up to the 49 and pick up 26 yards on that play. And the clock now is still moving. And if we figure out what it is right now, it's 6:45 in the first half. Pass to the flat, and that one is gonna go to Nick Dolan. And Dolan is going to pick up a first down. So just a quick pass from Jacob Green. He just stood up. And then a quick pass over to Nick Dolan over on the left flat. And then Dolan took off, picked up the first down as he's able to move the ball up to the 36-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers at the Bengal 36. I don't think Los Alamos was set, but boy, wow. Holy mackerel. What a beautiful, beautiful pass that time from Jacob Green and cutting into the end zone, right smack in the breadbasket. Malachi Gutierrez, and he drops it.
Oh my goodness.
Holy mackerel.
He is not going to get an easier pass to catch
Not at
entire
all.
life. That
I
right
mean,
there in the hands, down the dead run near the goal line, and cannot hang on. And second big drop of the night by the Toppers.
So a delay is going to go to Tiki Nieto. Nieto around the left side and into the end zone for the touchdown. So Tiki Nieto on the delay. So Jacob just kind of took a step back, held the ball for a half a second, and then shoved it in the gut of Tiki Nieto, who was lined up right next to him as a blocking back and fullback. Handed him the ball, and he just came almost straight up the middle. So Tiki picks up the touchdown, and that's going to make it now 34. And Sally Hopkins will come in once again for Los Alamos. Been perfect so far. Let's see what they're going to do. Okay. So Sally, one of the kickers, she's on the homecoming court, by the way.
Oh, and we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Los Alamos here.
Whoa.
And I don't know I'm
talking to Garrett right now.
I have a feeling actually this is gonna go on like either the bench or the Topper band or something like. I think they were getting a little boisterous. I didn't see anything on the field. There was no undue trash talking or anything. I guess they'll enforce that on the ensuing kickoff.
She barely got that one off too, because they had that defensive end for Los Alamos, for the Bengals, nobody picked up the defensive end and just came in from the left side. I thought he got to get a hand on that ball, but Sally puts it through, makes it now 35-0. And we don't go into the first half of the mercy rule because mercy rules don't kick in until the second half.
Yes, that is correct. So, but if this half ends 35-0, then we will have a running clock to start the second half. 5:46. I don't know if we can call that official or not, Gene. That's what they have on the scoreboard. That's probably about right. So we'll go with what they have on the scoreboard.
Well, let's see. So the Hilltoppers are 15 points away from 50. So they would need, if Hilltoppers decide not to go for two, which would be a mistake. Oh my God! But they could always take the victory formation.
Yeah. Well, and keep in mind we've got about a 6.5 hour halftime coming up.
Yes,
too, Gene,
really.
So just keep that in mind.
So here goes this Sally ready to boot it away.
Actually, I think it's Steinkamp that's kicking this.
Was that? Oh, that is Steinkamp. Back there in the shadows.
Wow, not a bad kick there. Oh, it's gonna squirt out of bounds.
Whoa. Pretty good field position. They'll take it at the 35. They can make them kick over. I don't think they want to do that.
Actually a pretty good kick. It just nothing. He didn't kick it out of bounds exactly. He just kind of took a funny bounce and took a bad hop on him and kind of squirted out of bounds. He wasn't really. We've seen the Toppers perform numerous kickoff attempts that went pretty well out of bounds. That wasn't the case on that one. That was actually a pretty good kick.
So their option, and they take the option of having the ball placed down at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. 5:46, we think, is the time left on this in the first half of play. There's a pitch out. The ball is loose.
Topper's all over it.
Oh, do not. Holy mackerel. The quarterback took off out of the shotgun, and then he turned around and threw the ball behind him. And I don't know if it bounced off of his shoulder pad or what, but I mean, it just rebounded straight back. I mean, it looked like it had been thrown off of a wall. And
yeah, exactly.
it just rebounded right back to the Hilltoppers. So
my goodness.
So now the Hilltoppers, we are in deep trouble for homecoming. Pass over on the right sideline. That's going to be complete for short yardage. And that one is complete out there to Josh Duran. So he picks up a couple of yards. 4:40 and counting here in this first half of play. 35-0 ball game at the moment. And the Hilltoppers will run out of that spread, out of the shotgun. High snap. Jacob brings it down. He's going to go. And once again, wow. I mean, right smack in the hands of Malachi Gutierrez at the 20-yard line. Right smack in his hands. Wide open. Perfect pass. Right in the hands. And he drops it. How many have we dropped tonight?
I can tell you exactly. We have dropped 3 balls tonight, and because Jake Green would be 100% on his passes tonight.
Yes,
had his receivers simply caught the ones that came right to them.
There's going to be that delay is going to go to Tiki, and they can't bring him down.
Nice run there by Tiki, but we have a flag.
Another flag.
Touchdown run. Number 4.
Hanky-laden first half so far.
Yeah.
And the Toppers look like they are heading back in the opposite direction, so this might be on them.
It's been a hanky-laden season.
Yes, it has.
Yes, we had a Bengal down on the play, so they will tend to him.
Yeah, and so we're going to get the, I thought we were going to get the call. We are not.
We did get the call. We missed it, but it's going to be 10-yard penalty. So a hold.
So that's going to negate a pretty good run there by Tiki.
Yes, it is. So they all the way back to the 39-yard line. And, they'll bring it back to 39. That'll bring up 3rd down. Yeah, 3rd and about 12 for the Hilltop. Still tending the Bengal on the ground. I can't see number. We don't have numbers anyway, so let's see.
Touchdown run, number 4, with 5 minutes
next
left.
week. Let's see, volleyball, and well, you lost me. Oh, thank you, sir. Okay.
District
Anyway, we'll
starting
district.
already. Unbelievable.
Next next Tuesday.
Says 58, and we actually do have him. That is Ronnie Jim
Unbelievable.
of the Bengals. So,
well, that's what you said. It should be, it could be one of the teams. So anyway,
yes, that is
3:43 to go. Anyway, with the schedule, volleyball at Capital next week. That's a district contest, and it will be that. The girls soccer against St. Michael's. That's a non-district. That'll be at St. Michael's at 4. We're still debating on that one, and then on next Thursday we're going to have Thursday night football. Long pass downfield. Jacob starts to go long down the left sideline, decides to, and then bring it into the middle of the field, and another incomplete pass.
that one almost picked off, actually. One of the Bengals
Touchdown run. Number 4 with 5
shot
minutes
at it.
left.
You're not his number either. So 3-0, about 3 minutes left here. 35-0 ball game. The Toppers down now.
Clock. They kicked the 35-point rule into effect. Pass over underneath the bridge. Tiki Dineato. Touchdown, Tiki. So that one, they just let everybody head downfield, and kind of a delayed screen pass, and boy, they let everybody go, and then Tiki just hung back, and it took forever for Jacob to throw it to him. When he did catch, but he didn't have anything in front of him. So a delayed screen pass, and that makes 41 to nothing. And we're going to have offsides here.
And here we go. And is going to 42 push-ups. I don't like their chances, Gene.
All right.
No,
Touchdown
like maybe
run.
one or two
Number
each.
4
Then they
with 5 minutes
do it.
left.
I don't like the 42. That's a weak push-up. Kid in the purple there. That is a weak push-up.
So it's up and good.
Boy, Sally is off.
So that's 6 extra points tonight. She's booted through. And so that makes it 42 to nothing. And we have 2:35 to go here in this first half. And we still have homecoming, all the homecoming activities coming up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So with there are plenty of those. There.
All right. The Saturday now for Barrett Williams on kick.
Get the onside kick and
Score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then you go home.
or he doesn't have to just set up his defense to allow the Bengals to do that pitch out they've been doing.
That's true.
And,
yeah.
And with
So the Bengals win this one back. There's the boot. And
Touchdown run.
Boy, Steinkamp
Number
has been
4
in.
with 5 minutes left.
The tacked on.
yeah. So so and right now it's a was it 42 that we're at? 42-0 ball game. So the Hilltoppers can score one more touchdown, and they can still have their homecoming.
if they did, yeah, unfortunately, Gene, according to the new rule, if they do score 50 in the final, homecoming ceremony is
It's
canceled.
all over. Interference on that one. Where's the flag? Joaquin Ortega coming down the right sideline, and he was being interfered like.
There was a lot of pushing and shoving there,
Wow.
Gene. Yeah, I think if Joaquin wanted to make a step at that, I think he'd have a case.
Yeah, I think he would. He was being held up there.
So we are running the clock, Gene.
Yes,
There's
we are.
150 and counting right now. Normally, we would have a stoppage on an incomplete pass, but I think the officials have to determine that. That is not the clock operator that gets to make that call.
Touchdown run, number 4, with 5 minutes left.
Dropping back, he's going to air it out. And this one is going to be incomplete, lost down. And for Joaquin Ortega.
I think Joaquin actually cut his route off, and his quarterback was expecting going on the go route. Nobody there. That wasn't a bad pass.
It wasn't. So we now have
54 seconds remaining. So this should be the last play or two of this half.
Yeah,
we have what the Bengals want to do.
We have. They actually have time to run 2 more plays. Maybe. My golly. Wow. Truck. Wow. That is Jeremiah Hartzall.
That was a lit.
Well, that pass is complete up to Kai Werrell. And Kai's probably a little Werrell right now.
That will do it for the half, Gene.
Number 4, with 5 minutes left.
So that will do it 42-0 in favor of Los Alamos. So we be allowed to have
no control.
The Topper band heading out onto the field now, dressed in kind of Nirvana style grunge there.
Yeah.
Since the mid-90s.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was their theme for homecoming day or what that was, but that's a bunch of Cobain and folks out there. So that's what we're doing.
All right. Anyway, you want to finish off these Hall of Fame inductees? We have Matt Skidmore. He's 2000 graduate. He's cross country and track. He was New Mexico High School All-District State selection. From track record, 1,600 and a 3,200 meter run. Sophomore track record in 32 meters. Winner of the Saint of the Hamus Mountain Trail Runs of Valle Caldera. Right now, he's the current head coach of the Los Alamos Middle cross country team, and he leads the St. Patrick's Day Fun Run for the elementary school 3 years in a row.
Touchdown run, number 4.
Good friend and
5 minutes left.
That was such a year for 1993. So he was a all-star baseball star. He's one of the few 3-sport athletes all 3 years at Los Alamos High School. So I remember that. I was not a 3. But still lacking, unfortunately, Gene. So the team in junior and senior year, and he was at the longest field goal as well. And he played football for Varsity and was played for years there for the Greyhounds, and he was named the GT while he was in college. So, Mr. Brian, buddy, very, very well earned.
And Ashley Bonner, she's a 2006 draft girls state full champion. She was part of the girls school state championship team. She went to play all 4 years at the University of New Mexico tennis team. Currently is a staff assistant national laboratory, and now our next athlete,
with 5 minutes left.
You really admire your teammate.
Barry Kay is 1992 graduate. And he is a former. And then there was Kristen Hemphill Nichols, 2005 grad, and she was a athlete in cross country and track. She'd earned 9 state titles and 4 state team titles during her career. Interesting note about accidents. The career as a runner leader. She's actually a soccer player, but made the absolute right call and switched to running. She was undefeated in high school for years. Kristen had 22 wins and 4 runner-up finishes during her time in high school. And she sold the high school records in 1,600 and 32 while running for track. After she 3,000 meters steeplechase. She was a Mountain West
with 5 minutes left.
In Fort Collins for the 3,000 meters, and she was an NCAA Division I All-American in the steeplechase. She qualified in time for both the Olympic trials in 2008 and 2012, and she ran professionally with the Boulder Running Club between 2010 and 2012. So fantastic runner, one of the all-time school. So congratulations to our newest members of the Los Alamos Athletic Hall of Fame. And boy, it's just one of the excellent athletes we've had here over the years, Gene, it's really something.
Yeah, it really is. And the first couple is going to be Olivia Bell. She's the daughter of Kirsten and Neil Bell, a younger sister. Bell. She's a captain on the girls' varsity soccer team and a member of the
Touchdown run, number 4, with 5 minutes
child of
left.
his 2 brothers, Hunter and Ian Swavely. He plays varsity baseball and hockey, is in the Naval Junior ROTC, and also worked as a student athletic trainer for Mick Maltuzak. I love staying active, hanging with friends, and being with Thompson for always encouraging hard work and not giving up on him. Plans on going to college to major in sports medicine or biology. And the second couple is Maya Clausen, daughter of Lena Hesner, the younger sister of Anders Clausen. She's one of the student body secretary treasurers, is topper woman, has danced at the Dance Art Los Alamos for 12 years, only having fingers. She prefers moving rings at a time. Would like to thank Mr. Ainsworth, Mrs. Mitchell, Mrs. O and Mrs. Jones for inspiring her to love learning and getting involved. Maya plans on majoring in biology. See what happens. She is accompanied by Matthias Rogier. He is the son of Marie Soledad Herrera and Esteban Rogier. He likes swimming and hanging out with his amigos. Strother for being an awesome teacher and mentor. Matthias plans to major in aerospace engineering, and Mirabella, his daughter, Los Alamos cheerleader and student
Touchdown run.
publicist.
Number 4.
She competed as Miss
5
Los
minutes
Alamos
left.
teen. Sorry, she competed as Miss Los Alamos UA this past August. She'd like to thank all of the LEH, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Laser, Miss Dieterman, possibly attending college somewhere to pursue becoming a high school principal. She'd like to give a shout out to her parents, Randy and Rose, for always supporting Randy and her ideas, her dog Zara, for being her best friend, and her mom for loving her unconditionally. And she's accompanied by son of Brian, her track and field team. He enjoys staying active, spending time with friends, has a drive for social media marketing. He would like to thank Coach Montoya and Mrs. Bata for helping him prepare for college and pushing him to set and achieve goals. He plans on attending college and majoring in either entrepreneurship or business manager. Pair 4, let's see, that's going to be Sally Hopkins. She is the daughter of John and Jennifer, and her two sisters are Emily and Katie. She is the kicker here for Los Alamos. She has 2 dogs, Koki and Kylo, who she enjoys spending time with. She's involved in National Honor Society, Student Council, Biblical Burritos, yearbook, football, and club soccer. Mrs. Allen was her elementary teacher, who inspires her to be the less fortunate, to help the less fortunate. Mama. She plans on going to UNM, but is still undecided on what to major in and is excited for the journey beyond high school. She is accompanied by Aiden Cooley, son of James Cooley and Susan Mendel. When he isn't playing football, he's competing in rock climbing for the Santa Fe climbing team. Some of his favorite things are his dog Boomer, his super cool friends. Aiden would like to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Ainsworth for teaching him to be a winner, and Mrs. O for being an awesome student, council leader, and Mr. West for helping him through high school and beyond. Next year, Aiden plans to go to college in the pursuit of happiness. Pair 5, Gwyneth Lyons, the daughter of Laura Mullane and David Lyons, and the younger sister to Noah. She is a dancer at the Dance Arts Los Alamos and a student body president. Some of Gwyneth's favorite things include bagels, Styles, her amazing friends, her Subaru. She'd like to thank Mrs. Ovaska, Mr. Jones, Mr. Payne, and Mr. Lathrop for their support in her student council career. Also, Miss Pomeroy for always believing in her. Next year, she hopes to attend college, major in political science, and eventually become a congresswoman. Behold, Tony Oldham. Tony is Tommy Oldham is the son of Warren and Susan Oldham, and a younger brother to Ellie. Tommy's involved in varsity cross-country track and field and hockey. He is also student body president and vice president of the executive officer of the Topper Major NJ of the Naval Junior ROTC unit. Tommy enjoys being in the outdoors, hanging out with his friends. He'd like to thank Mrs. Strother, Mrs. Botha, Mrs. Mitchell, and Coach Montoya for all their encouragement and support throughout high school. Tommy hopes to attend the Navy to serve his country. And our final couple, Emily Maestas, is the daughter of Jeff Maestas and Suzanne Morse, and a younger sister of Andres and Isaac. She's a member of the yearbook staff, and she's also secretary of her 4-H club, the Country Kids, which she has been a part of for 10 years. She's a 3-time grand champion and 2-time reserve grand champion winner with her beef projects and grand champion showman for her swine. She plans to go to NMSU to become school history teacher. She'd like to thank all of her SOC teachers, Mrs. ZQ and Mrs. Montoya, who have also helped her succeed throughout high school. And Sam Wolfsburg is the son of Laura and Andrew Wolfsburg, and he is the younger brother of Leah Wolfsburg. Sam enjoys being vice president of the Oleans Theater Club and also singing in bel canto this year. Sam loves hanging out with his friends and just having a good time. Sam would like to thank Christine Engelbrecht, Melissa Laser, Jason Rutledge, and Isabel Duke for helping him through high school. He couldn't have done it without them. Sam hopes to become an elementary school teacher, and he's still deciding where to go for college. And in just a second, Maury Condrats will announce the winners of who is the new current homecoming queen and queen. So I'm going to let Mike do the honors for that one, and so that is and as Maury he's introducing the final couple now, and then we'll have the homecoming queen and king. So take it away there, Mike. Let's see who they're going to announce the king and queen now as they bring all of the homecoming court together, and Maury will make the announcement, and so will we at the same time.
Yes. So we're all set. And, not the most appropriate homecoming song. That song, of course, was the 90s song "Creep." So I don't know if that was the best. But the homecoming king for 2021 is Samuel Wolfsbury. So he is the homecoming king for this year. And for the homecoming queen, our own place kicker, Jean Sally Hopkins. So
all right, awesome.
Allie Hopkins, homecoming queen, congratulations. Boy, a big night for her.
Yes, it is. I mean, she's had quite an evening here on the football field. So Sally Hopkins is the homecoming queen, and like I say, she is the kicker. The place kicker, does all the extra points, and she had been doing kickoffs, but they have brought for some reason they brought in Charles Steinkamp to do the kicking.
5 minutes left.
But Sally, like I say, is the daughter of John and Jennifer Hopkins. Her two sisters, Emily and Kate. She has two dogs, Cody and Kylo. She enjoys spending time with them. She's involved in the National Honor Society, Biblical Burritos. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Biblical Burritos. There you go.
Biblical Burritos.
Yearbook football and club soccer. Mrs. Allen was her elementary teacher, inspires her to help the less fortunate. She's going to go to UNM. She's still decided on what she wants to major in, and she is excited for her journey beyond high school. Yes, and so, and we're gonna and finally wrap things up here with the homecoming king.
And again, that's Samuel Wolfsbury, homecoming king for 2021. Congratulations. He's the son of Laura and Andrew Wolfsburg, and is the younger brother of Leah Wolfsburg. And he is the vice president of the Oleans Theater Club, and he also sings bel canto. Sam loves hanging out with his friends, and he'd like to thank Christine Engelbrecht, Melissa Laser, Jason Rutledge, and Isabel Duque for helping him through high school. And Sam has aspirations to become an elementary school teacher. Hasn't quite figured out where he wants to go to college yet, Gene. Might I suggest Las Cruces, New Mexico? Beautiful, beautiful city down there.
Yeah.
Great college in the state, Gene, New Mexico State University.
Right. Yeah, you tried to go there, didn't you?
I tried to go there.
Number 4 with 5 minutes left.
Class of 1998, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
Just,
all right.
Just
very good.
And just a great school. So Samuel, just it's something to think about.
Any stats for us?
Not, but I can get you some stats.
That's all right.
Give me a minute. Sorry, was
Okay.
caught up in the homecoming celebration,
Yeah.
Gene. But if you give me just a minute, I'll
Well,
get some for
anyway,
you.
while he's doing that, next week, as I started to point out, we'll go down to Capitol on Tuesday night for district volleyball, and then on Wednesday the girls go to St. Michael's, and we're still debating on what to do about that. We may cover that game. I'll have to see what everybody else's schedule is and mine. And also then on Thursday, we're going to have Friday night football on Thursday. So the Hilltoppers are going to play next week. Are going to play. The football team is going to take on West Las Vegas. That's going to be in Las Vegas, and that game will take place on Thursday night at 7:00. So they're moving the game up from Friday to Thursday because they're having trouble getting officials. They can't get anybody to work in the businesses and having trouble getting officials. Everybody needs everything. So anyway, they've gone ahead and they've moved that ball game up to Thursday night. And so we won't have anything next Friday. The volleyball team will be at the Rio Rancho tournament, and that for the weekend, and the cross country team will head down to Rio Rancho for the Rio Rancho Jamboree. So that's it.
Touchdown run.
So anyway,
Number
we'll be
4
back on the air next
with
Tuesday.
5 minutes left.
Volleyball versus Capitol at Capitol. You ready?
I am ready, Jane. Thank you for extra few seconds there. So all Los Alamos there in that first half, 42-0. Topper scoring 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and followed that up with 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Toppers for the Toppers, Jacob Green 6 for 10 in that first half. Gene 126 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And he also ran twice for 50 yards. So a nice first half there for Jacob Green. Also on the ground for Los Alamos, Tiki Nieto, only 5 carries, but he made the most of those 90 yards. He had a 36-yard touchdown, and he followed that up. That came at the 5:46 mark of the second quarter, and he followed that up with a 42-yard touchdown. And so a big first half for Mr. Nieto. And then also Jeremiah Hartzell, two carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. Also caught a 45-yard touchdown pass. So a big on offensive numbers there for Los Alamos. And for Jake Green, it's 10. Actually, he should be 9 for 10.
Well, we should score it like they score baseball. You know, he made a good pass. The other guys, it's an error on the receiver.
There is some truth to that, yes.
Oh, really?
So yeah, 3 dropped passes out of his 4 incompletions. So yeah, he could be well over 150 yards right now. But unfortunately, and the guy would have had at least 1 and possibly 2 other touchdowns with those drop passes, Jane. But Jake looking very solid tonight, and just everything working well for the Topper offense, and the Topper defense has been pretty solid too. Gallup, unfortunately, on the offensive end, just not able to get a whole lot going. They're just not very solid on the offensive end. The back is actually, he's got a good arm, and he's got pretty good field vision. Actually, his arm may be a little too good because he keeps overshooting his receivers, but you know, he's solid, and no question about his arm strength whatsoever. And so Gallup, if they can kind of congeal a little bit, get the receivers and the quarterback on the same page, they actually, for the second half of the season, might be able to do something. This is not This is not a team without any football prowess whatsoever. They're just not quite on the same page.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, so.
And their other they need to get rid of that pitch out. That pitch out play. They need to get rid of that post haste.
Yes, they
Because
do.
that has gone straight backwards every single time they've tried it.
I mean, that's a guaranteed 5-yard loss every time they run it. We got about 65 seconds to go before we'll get this second half going. And Hilltoppers won the toss and decided to receive to start things off. So let's see. Not sure what we're doing. Are we giving up?
Touchdown run.
I guess we'll see.
I wasn't sure, but both teams looked like they were going to go meet out on the middle of the field. So I thought maybe they decided to go ahead and kick in all kinds of mercy rules.
Well, the Bengals came out a little bit late for this 3-minute warm-up period.
Yeah,
so
they
they're
did.
running they're running, but all they're going to have time to do.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's, they had the entire homecoming halftime, and then also another 3 minutes, and also I'm not sure how much Anthony Rodriguez had to talk about at halftime. So anyway, that'll run the clock down, and so Gallup will kick off, or Los Alamos, I'm sorry, will kick off to start this second half of play. 42-0. Looks like the scoreboard is working for the moment anyway. And
we'll see. We'll see what happens. This could be a very, very short second half here, depending on
a little bit.
Depending on what goes on. Charles Steinkamp teeing up the ball right now, and he's put every one of his kicks into fairly well deep into the end zone so far. So we'll see if we can do that again. A couple of Bengals back to receive. They're standing right, heels on the goal line.
So he boots it away, and this one's going to end up being a short kick. And coming right up the middle, boy, nice run back all the way back to the 40-yard line.
That was none other than Mr. You know who. we don't know. We don't know who it is.
Touchdown run.
Yeah.
Number 4 with 5 minutes
I have
left.
somebody eating a hot dog in front of me. So here we go.
So the Bengals will start this half at the 41-yard line. Good, about a 31-yard return, Gene.
Yeah, that was a nice return. So they'll start things off. They got pretty good field position, and this time they're going to pro set that time. So they just put the quarterback under center and then put the two running backs back behind him in a pro set. So they ends up just a little simple handoff, picks up 2 yards as he gets up now to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that looked closer to like a goal line setup there than. But yeah, they kind of their heavy jumbo package.
We haven't seen that tonight at all. Now they're going to go back to the pistol. So dropping back to throw, looking down, intercepted by the stoppers, and that's going to be intercepted by Caden Thornton. Thornton coming around the left side. He's going to be run out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
We got a late flag, and I think that's going to be a late hit it's going to get tacked on. A nice pick off there by Thornton. The ball a little bit offline, but Thornton right there. And since he was playing defensive back and not wide receiver, that hit him in the chest. He catch it.
Touchdown run.
And a
Number
nice comeback
4
for
with
the
5 minutes left.
personal foul on the Bengals, and that was not the most egregious late hit I've ever seen.
No, certainly wasn't.
So I don't know. Maybe the officials have dinner reservations at Tomacitos or something, and they want to get back to Santa Fe. So.
Well, that's going to move it way down and put the ball on the 29-yard line of the Bengals. 1st and 10 for Los Alamos from the 29. They'll run out of the spread. Comes back, and so a counter play, and this one is going to, boy, nice counter play that time. As that handoff went this time over to Kyrie Young, 5'11" sophomore. That he lined up just to the left of Jacob Green, and then they sent a man in motion right in front of him. They faked the handoff to the man in motion, and then Kyler just kind of hung back, and then he got the delay, picked up a nice yardage. That was a nice run.
Very nice. Yeah, that was a good piece of running.
So he picks up a 1st down. Jacob pass over on the flat on the left side, and we're going to pick up very close to another 1st down. As the
actually we have a new quarterback, Gene. That is Jake Sorensen.
That's what I was wondering, and I think the pass that time was complete to Kenny Suazo. But yeah, let me see. Yeah, but you're right. The quarterback right now is Jake Sorensen.
Yes, and that was a nice pass.
Yes, it was.
Had some zip on it.
So Sorensen, there's that subtle pass coming around the right
Touchdown
side.
Run. Number
And
4
going to be inside the 5-yard line.
5 minutes left.
Oh, I thought he was going to get in. He's going to come back our door. Is that? I think that was Suazo again.
So they're gonna count him short at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal from the 1. Give it back to Kenny. Let him score the touchdown. So they're gonna line up and they're gonna load up the shotgun this time. And there it goes to Kenny.
Oh boy.
Gallup was expecting the same thing.
Yeah, everybody was keyed on Kenny. And,
yes, absolutely.
One of the Bengal linebackers broke through, barely touched, and drops him back in the backfield close to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, 9-yard loss. So 9-yard loss on the play. That's going to make it now 2nd and goal from the 10. So back there by himself. Jake Sorensen starts to throw. Now he's going to run it. Now he's going to be tackled.
Oh, boy.
So he's dropped for another big loss. And this is going to take him back almost to the 20. And they're going to put it down where about the 17.
Yes.
So it's now third and goal from the 17. Moral victory here for Gallup.
That's right.
Touchdown run. Number 4
So
with 5 minutes left.
3rd and goal. And right up the middle, they're going to wait. And as a handoff that time went to John Delgado. He was lined up in that blocking back position. So they end up giving him the ball. And we have a timeout.
I think we have an injured Bengal.
Yes, we do. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Couldn't see him. He was screened out by the topper bench.
Yeah, it's been a been a rough night for the Bengals injury wise. It's already the
Yeah, it really has been.
third gentleman that's been on the ground for the Bengals.
So tomorrow afternoon at I think it's 1 o'clock. I think I need to find out. Anyway, they'll have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and it's a dinner, a banquet, and usually it's somewhere at the high school, but this time it's going to be right outside the concession stand at the football field, and they're expecting a beautiful, beautiful day for it, and everybody's invited to attend. It's $25, and the $25 gives you the free meal, which is always a very good one. It's always a very good free meal. Not free meal, you got to pay for it, $25. Anyway, a $25 meal. But in addition, you know, the that helps defray the cost of the induction ceremony and everything, and of course helps the coffers of the Hall of Fame committee, so that we can do this again next year.
Yeah, that you know, they have a lot of costs. You know, the polish just used for Gene Mortensen's plaque alone. I mean, that runs in the thousands of dollars a year. So if you can support them, that would be great.
I know you got to keep that shiny, man.
Yeah, Gene Mortensen, of course, my very, very good friend sitting next to me. One of the members of the initial class of the Los Alamos High School Hall of Fame, and I can't think of a more deserving individual to get that honor. You got in. I think Bert Buer got in as well.
Yeah, Bert and I went in at the same time.
And
2014.
You two, long time radio duo for the Toppers.
Yeah, Bert broadcast for 29 years and kept swearing he was going to retire. He finally did. I broadcast with Bert for a number of years, and then when he finally did retire, then I did take over. But it was one of those gradual things where I was taking over more and more as Bert was kind of trailing off. So anyway, here we go. And we're going to kick a field goal. Yes, we are.
That's what it looks like.
And
said Steinkamp?
No, yeah, they're going to have Steinkamp kick it. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, come on, it's Sally. She's the homecoming queen, and here she is, the homecoming queen and everything, and she give a chance to kick the field goal.
I don't understand that, but
bummer.
Yeah, that is a bummer. And that field goal is good from I think 28 yards. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, makes it 45-0. So another touchdown will do it, unless the Bengals can run this one back.
They're due, Gene. They are due.
They've been due all season.
But then, well, you know, don't feel terrible when basketball season rolls around. They are a formidable opponent.
They certainly are, especially the Gallup girls.
Girls are very, very good. Boys are no slouch either.
No, they're not. And the kick is going to be taken on about the 1 or 2 yard line. And you're going to come up to about the 20, 25 yard line, somewhere in there. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Gallup. The clock is, of course, moving. We are definitely in a running clock, because when you're up by 35 and in the second half, it goes to a running clock, and it'll only stop on official timeouts and injuries, that type of thing. But the normal stoppages doesn't stop. 5:10 to go and moving. And Gallup will have the ball. 1st and 10. Whoa, I don't know. And the quarterback gets away from the rush, and he just barreled over one of
Touchdown
the
run.
Hilltoppers.
Number 4.
Wow.
With 5 minutes left.
We were able to get the name of that young man who's the quarterback, but boy, I mean, who did he run over? I think
That was a steamroll job, Gene.
it
That
was
was
Jehoran Quintana, I think.
yeah, I think he was over on that side,
It was
but
either him or Aiden Cooley.
that was a hit. We're gonna get a call here on the Bengals. It just seems like piling on at this point.
Really?
But that was a hit.
Boy, was it ever? That's the first time he's run that he's actually tucked it under and run.
That wasn't a bad run either.
No, it wasn't.
The quarterback, pretty big guy. We didn't know what kind of wheels he had. Not too bad.
No, he's not. But they're way back, and it's a 15-yard penalty. Wow. I think then, and
well, there's a pitch, and wow, hole there for the pitch man. He's gonna get a few yards out of that.
yeah, but they were faced with like 15 and 25.
That's true. They're basically running against a prevent defense, but that is the first. I believe that's the first positive play they've had out of a pitch.
Yeah, so they got. So right now they got the second down at about 16. And the ball is setting, well, let's see, about the 18-yard line. So.
Second down, short 16, Gene. Short 16.
Short 6, very short. Boy, another nice one around the left side.
Touchdown run. Number 4. With 5 minutes left.
There's another flag.
Oh, coming after the play.
Totally after. Yeah, this is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct or something. Personal foul against the Bengals.
I really, we've had a few of these calls. I really haven't seen much of anything.
No.
I don't know what there hasn't, or at least from here, it doesn't look like any serious extracurricular activity or to me, it looks like this has been a fairly clean game.
Yeah, and so right now they're sitting at about the 11-yard line, and they need to get up to, where is it, the 34? Yeah, so.
Oh, this is the play they've been waiting for, Gene.
Our secret weapon, boy, and he's got a man. Boy.
Oh,
wow.
man.
Boy, he heaved that ball. Wow. I mean, he threw that thing 60, 60, 70, 60, 65 yards in the air. Wow. And just barely overthrew his receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, he waited like half a second. He would have been right on his hands.
Yes.
Wow. So that'll bring up 4th down, but again, arm strength is not a problem for this young man. That's for sure.
So, they're going to roll the dice again? Nope. They're going to put.
I don't see why not at this point, to be honest with you.
Really? Well,
there's nothing to lose here for the Bengals. I mean, I guess they're going for the moral victory of, trying to at least finish the third quarter.
And the ball's
punt's not going to do it.
Straight up in the air.
Number 4.
And then floats to the left
5
side.
minutes left.
So he kicked it away from about the ball and got out of bounds somewhere around the 20. Let's see where they finally decide to put that ball.
Drop it right around the 25, it looks like, maybe the 26.
So.
But, you know what? That's all you're going to get out of the punt. You might as well go for it.
Really?
So, anyway, Taubert's golden opportunity to put this one away. Got 1:18 left to try to do just that here in the third quarter.
And the crowd is starting to pull out of here in a hurry. Hand up, straight up the middle. Whoa.
Oh.
Nice run that time by Kyler Young. Boy, he got the handoff and he was just standing right there. He just shoved it in his gut and he just went straight ahead. And wow, boy, nice, powerful run that time by Kyler, 5'11", 165-pound sophomore.
30 seconds left, Gene. I don't know.
So this time Jake Sorensen's going to keep it himself. And he's going to be inside the 5-yard line.
He's going to get down to the 2, maybe the 1 on the keeper, and we are not going to finish this in the third quarter, Gene.
Yeah, unless
that is a bummer. Oh well, they could quick snap it here. They got 10 seconds.
Yeah, they could do it. 5 seconds. And they get the snap off. Collision in the backfield.
Oh, that's going to be a loss on the play. I think it was Sorensen on the keeper.
Yes.
And he dropped at the 5-yard line, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. Bummer.
He decided to go at the same time that Kyler Young decided to go, and so that brings the third quarter to an end, 45-0, and the Hilltoppers knocking on the door. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. See, I think it's 3rd and goal, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
3rd and goal from the 4.
Yep, so Toppers 2 chances to punch us in and close things out. So barring a comeback for the ages, the Gallup Bengals dropped to 0-5 on the season. Toppers will improve to 3-2. And whether or not this this drive is fruitful. But back to the Bengal athletic program, Gene. Like I said, football has been a little rough, but don't feel super bad for Gallup. They're very good in a lot of things. Christian Hemphill Nichols, one of the inductees into the Hall of Fame, arguably the greatest distance runner that's ever come out of New Mexico high school, and she had, prior to her, the best female distance runner was actually from Gallup. That was Felicia Gulliford in the late 90s.
So right up the middle, and Jake Sorensen fakes a handoff up the middle and then keeps it himself. And that'll do it. 51-0, and so the mercy rule kicks in, and so that brings this ball game to an end. 51-0. The Hilltoppers take the homecoming contest over the Gallup Bengals. As Mike says, it's 3-2 now for the Hilltoppers, and the Gallup so far is winless. So it was a crazy ball game. It's just Gallup just did not have the horses, but they did have a pretty good quarterback. We never were able to get his name, but number 18. But boy, I mean, he's a big kid, but he had to. He could move. He showed us that he could run. He could throw the ball a mile. And in fact, a lot of his passes were, they were just spirals right there to the receiver. And in almost every case, he'd be the receiver would be about a half a step behind the ball. But unfortunately, that does it. So tomorrow afternoon, I think there's a soccer game. I don't know if it's at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I hope it's at 2 o'clock because if it's at 4 o'clock, if those kids are going homecoming, that's not gonna make it very easy. A soccer game and then go home and get ready for homecoming dance. So, so anyway, all right. So the Toppers break that two losing streak, and so that will do it. So anyway, Mike, 51-0 final score. So I want to take this opportunity first to thank Carol Clark and the Los Alamos Daily Post. She's the one that makes all this possible.
Number 4.
Makes it possible for us to broadcast these ball games, and we want to give thank them, and of course Nate Limback and John McHale and Carol. They all got together at the beginning. They're the ones that actually put it together, or Nate and John actually kind of put it together, proposed it to Carol, and Carol was 100% behind us, and so she's very enthusiastic about Los Alamos High School sports, and we appreciate her support of Los Alamos High School athletics. And so, Mike, you got any final thoughts?
Well, good bounce back for the Toppers after a couple of disappointing outings in the previous 2 weeks. Toppers were, like you said, coming in, Gene, heavy favorites into this ball game. And Toppers did exactly what they needed to do and what they were expected to do. They dominated this contest, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, and able to close this one out early. So, Toppers, again, doing what they needed to do on offense. I look pretty solid all the way around. And on defense, just didn't let the Bengals do a whole lot. I think only 2 or 3 first downs for the Bengals this evening. So the Topper defense looking sharp, Topper offense looking sharp. So exactly what they were expected to do coming in. So Toppers break that losing streak, and we'll see. We'll see if this can give them some momentum. They got a tough game next week, a short week too.
Yeah, short week, and
they'll be playing on Thursday and against West Las Vegas, which is no slouch. So we'll see how if Toppers are able to keep this momentum going. We got Toppers have all the tools. We've seen that so far this season. The confidence factor is going to be something that they're going to have to they're going to have to keep that confidence up. Gene, hopefully this will give them that chance to do that.
Yeah, I tried to find out if the ball game was going to be at Highlands or at West or whatever. The last time we played West that I can remember was we played it at Highlands, and of course at Robertson we played it at Robertson. So anyway, I haven't been able to figure that out yet. So, but we'll find out. So we'll be at West Las Vegas next week, and West Las Vegas they're undefeated coming into tonight. So they have a pretty good program going up there, and so we'll see how things go next week. And that would be a kind of a really big win for Los Alamos, kind of a must-win as we're going to head into the meat grinder of a district after next week. How we ended up in this district is beyond me, but we certainly do not belong in this district.
Yeah, it is a funny district, that's for sure, and Los Alamos got the short end of that stick for sure, Gene. But I know for next week you're really going to miss Robertson, and your favorite part of Robertson is when they shoot off the halftime gun about 10 feet from you.
Yeah, before the halftime's over.
And it's not a pop gun. It is a pretty serious pistol that they use.
Yeah, with the doors closed. The doors were closed, no windows, and the guy shoots off the halftime gun. Like God, I almost jumped through the ceiling. So then when it came around, that was at the end of the first quarter. So they came around at the end of the first half, and so my son Russ was doing the game with me. So this time we were ready. So when they started counting down, I told Russ, okay, Russ, get ready. So Carl, the timekeeper, is going to fire off here. And so he holds up the pistol, shoots it, it's a dud. And the thing was a dud. So Russ and I start cracking up, and the next thing I know, he pulls the trigger again, and bam, scared the hell out of us again. Anyway, all right, that'll do it for us. So this is Gene Martinson, and so Carol Clark of the Daily Post, for Nate Limbach, homecoming. We knew we were pretty heavily favored, but I didn't realize we were going to be that favored. We were struggling, but anyway, that the but it's coming so far, all week long. So this is Gene Martinson for my good buddy Mike Mays, and for my sweetie pie. And everybody else happy. You can make it an even happier homecoming. All you got to do, put a little love in your heart.
Touchdown run, number 4, with 5 minutes left. 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 Touchdown run, number 4, with 5 minutes left.